that children view and see adults in their lives as role models. And so they're watching these ways of interacting. Parents think that they can and are often in denial about how much their children are really being exposed to the violence, thinking that perhaps their children don't know about what's going on. But in fact, children, if they're not directly witnessing the violence, are hearing it, or perhaps at least experiencing the effects in their interactions with their parents. For example, a mom who might really want to be there for her child, if she's having to worry about her own safety, then it may be hard to do that. We know that the effects of witnessing domestic violence can be as detrimental as being the direct victim of abuse, and that's in terms of long-term psychological and behavioral effects. We think of PTSD, we kind of equate it with veterans returning from war, but children who witness violence chronically in their environment develop some of the symptoms of PTSD, things like having a foreshortened view of the future, feeling that you really don't have a future, and these are children who just don't think that they have very long to live. Second is emotional numbing to the outside world, so these are children who have difficulty, for example, with spontaneous play. And third is experiencing flashbacks of the violence that they've witnessed and that they've experienced. Because the symptoms of having witnessed violence are not specific, there really has to be a high degree of suspicion in identifying some of the symptoms, asking about exposure to violence. So asking parents and children, hey, does your child watch violence on television? What about in your neighborhood? I have found that many children are repeatedly exposed to hearing gunshots in their environment. So important to start asking these questions about exposure to violence in one's surroundings, and then asking about violence exposure at home.